What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Brandon Coin YouTube channel, and I'm going to go ahead and warn you, today is just a straight up talking head video. But this video isn't aimed towards my normal audience. This is almost aimed towards like the guys that are on the fence. I get the question all the time, should I get into mining? Like why, how, what, when, where? I figure we'd talk about a lot of that stuff. And I'll go, you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll take the shades off just straight up. That way, like, this is it. This is no joke. This is serious. Mining is real money. A lot of people people have some preconceived notions like, oh, it's a scam or it's a pyramid scheme or it's a waste of money. And I'm just here to tell you, I've been mining for a little over 4 years now. I started in mid to late 2017, and I really kind of dipped my toes in it back then. I wish I would have jumped in. Um, the market's done some crazy things. It's definitely gone up. It's definitely gone down. There's been times where I've made a lot of money and I made a little money, but the general consensus here is I've always made money. Now, obviously, if you're in the part of the world or in a location that has a super high electric cost, that does limit the amount of time that you can run profitably. But for the most part, if you're near or around 10 to 12 cents per kilowatt hour, even at the very, very lowest, most unprofitable times in the last bear market, it's still always made a little bit of money. It would pay for the electric and you'd have a little slice of something left over. So a lot of people like to say, "Oh man, I was unprofitable. I had to shut everything down. I had to turn it all off." And that's actually a lie. Were there days that it was unprofitable? Yeah. Were there even weeks that it was unprofitable? Yeah. But I'd say 99% of the time, every single month, I was profitable. Now, I did scale down and I did sell off a good deal of my farm through the last bear run. That was more in part due to the fact that I moved into a new house and I was without internet for about 6 to 8 months. So I had cards that were literally sitting. At the time, we weren't making enough money for me to be able to afford a remote location that would have ate up any profits I was making. So in the meantime, I was making, gaming rigs and selling my cards off that way. And now I guess we're getting off on a tangent here. But basically, should you get into mining? Is it worth it to get into mining? I'll tell you guys, when I first started mining, I'm 30 years old now. I started about 4 years ago, so I started right when I was around 26. A lot of you guys are luckier that you're younger and you're able to start sooner. Um, when I started mining, I was basically living paycheck to paycheck. Not really proud to admit that. I was paying off. I had a mortgage. I was technically buying a house. Back then, it was an older house. My girlfriend had just moved in with me. She's my wife now, by the way. Same girl through the whole process. But my girlfriend had moved in with me. She was, helping me pay for the place. I was buying graphics cards out of my weekly paycheck that I was living week to week on. And a lot of people are like, "Oh man, that's not smart. It's not with this. It's not that." But I took a little bit of risk, made some money over time, got lucky on some speculative coins. And what I mean by a speculative coin is where you mine something at a really low evaluation or something before it goes to exchange, for example. And I got lucky when some of them hit exchange, they spiked up, I sold off. And then some of them I've held them for years. I still have my ETC, Ethereum Classic. I ain't never letting you die. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hold that forever. So what I'm trying to say here is, it's almost like mining had built up and become my form of a savings account because I was unresponsible or irresponsible and I didn't really have a savings account. If I wasn't spending money on like going out to eat, then I was spending it on my cars and like, stupid stuff, turbos and modifying and like buying wheels and tires. I was just wasting my money. So mining almost gave me a new hobby or a new avenue to pump money into and then actually get some money back because my cars were not making money. My eating out habits were not making money. But as soon as I got into mining and saw that you could buy these things and they would generate income, all of a sudden I started on the old ramen noodle diet. I was eating at home more often, just watching what I was spending, and almost becoming a crypto miner has changed the way I look at money and the way I spend money. It really made me like when you're a crypto miner, you're analyzing things down to like the penny. And I didn't used to do that. When I would go buy something, I wouldn't be like, oh, well, this one's 20 cents cheaper and that one's 50 cents more. And what's a dollar? What's a $2 here or there? Blah, blah, blah. But when you're a crypto miner, pennies turn into dollars, dollars turn into tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it just like, it compounds. So, should you get into mining? If you don't feel like mining's for you, then no, don't. But mining has 100% changed. And I guess it sounds kind of corny or whatever, but it has changed the course of my life. It has gained me enough financial freedom that a few years back I went out on my own, started my own construction company, and I do erosion control. If you didn't know what that is, I do like silt ponds, uh, containment devices and stuff like that, basically for like water runoff. I was able to do that because if I needed to, I could lean back on my residual income coming in from mining. I actually didn't really have to, but it gave me the confidence of like a support system back there to get out there and do my own thing on the front end. Now, I feel like a mistake a lot of people make is I'm going to get into mining and I want it to replace my job. And yeah, I guess that could work, but I never looked at mining as a replacement. I looked at mining as a supplement or an addition, or like I said earlier, like a savings account. I feel like a lot of the guys that try to get into mining to replace their current income, it's like you're working against yourself. It's like, you make this much income and you're building your farm up, and when it gets to here, you're gonna quit this income. But look, you would have had double. You know what I mean? Like, and then you could keep growing your mining to beat out your regular income. So it's just one of those things that's like, if you take a step back and it's like, why would you not try to grow to a level that you could make even more money, not just make the same amount of money? Because I don't know with you guys, but I'm not content making the same thing forever. I want to make more. I want to buy bigger stuff and expand. And I started out in the little house, and then me and my wife moved into a little bit bigger house, and eventually, I have one kid now. I want to have more kids, so I want to expand into even bigger house. By no means do I live in a big house, by the way. It's like 1,500 square feet, but it's big for me. My first house that I bought was like 800 and some square feet, and I was tickled to death to be able to buy that. And it's almost just like those stair steps to life. And I feel like mining really has put me in a good position, especially in, obviously it's only affected me for the last 4 years, but in the last 4 years of my life, I've made more financial advancement than I have probably in the other, 20 something years before that. Before that, I was just spending my money, having nothing to show for it. There was no savings. There was not really much of like assets, because that is one thing that I get from a lot of people. Oh, I don't want to buy a bunch of hardware, and then the market crashes and then it's worthless. At the end of the day, I don't care if crypto is zero. Those graphics cards are still worth a little bit of money. There's a lot of people out there that would still buy them and use them for a whole host of other things. But yeah, I guess this video kind of turned into not talking about what you can make with mining, but maybe how mining has affected my life. And that might be the title that I use for this video. Because that I've noticed now, whenever I talk to people, they ask, should I get into crypto? I used to be like, oh man, you can get this card, this card, this card. They make this, and this per day, and this is how much it burns per day, and then per month. I used to break it all down and be like super technical like that. But I forget that in the beginning, I wasn't like a super technical. I didn't look at the details. I was just kind of just trying it. And so now when I talk to people, I almost want to explain how mining has affected me. Crypto mining has like affected my life, not what I've necessarily gained from it, but how it's advanced me. And maybe I guess you could look at that as the same thing, because, I don't know. But yeah, that's I guess that's the gist of it. So if you want to get into something and and there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm not good with computers, so I can't get into crypto mining. Well, yes, I was into computers before I got into mining, but I was nowhere near the level of like hands-on that you are once you decide to like build a rig. And all that stuff comes with time. I used to ride like dirt bikes all the time, and everybody's like, "Oh, seat time, seat time, seat time. That's how you get better." Well, the way you get better at assembling, diagnosing, troubleshooting rigs is by building, running, and building and maintaining and expanding. That's how you get better. You can read 1,000 different articles and watch 100 different videos, but if you've never held that graphics card in your hand and used it and plugged it in, and you can know all the theory in the world, but if you don't have the hands-on, it's you're missing a whole step of the process. So if you want to get into mining and you're on the fence, maybe just start off small. That's what I did a few years ago, and it's led to me being significantly farther in life than I had thought originally. And obviously, by no means am I some like breakout, like out of the box, one hit wonder kind of situation. There's a lot of people that made a lot more money than me. I laugh with my wife all the time because I'm like, babe, we have literally danced around becoming like crazy rich so many times. Like, if only I would have mined this coin and sold it at this time and then bought this coin. And it's like hindsight is beyond 2020. You can see everything clearly in looking back at the past. But I still am not upset. I've made a good deal of money. I've made I've made so many amazing lifelong friends from dealing in the mining community. There are a lot of Debbie Downers, but that's with any community. But there's a lot of good guys too. So a lot of good guys that are doing it for the right reasons, and they're going to be around for a long time. And I guess addressing some of the people that and I hear this statement all the time too. Well, I don't want to get into mining because I don't want to lose money. And I guess if you go with that attitude, then you're not going to do anything in life because everything has a risk. I mean, I guess you're just going to go to your day job and come straight home, and you're not going to go out to eat, and you're not going to go hang out with friends, and you're not going to invest in anything because, oh, that's going to lose me money, or, oh, that's going to lose me money, or I might lose money with that. Everything's got a risk. Everything's got a reward. Crypto mining is, I would say, a moderate risk. I wouldn't list it as a high risk. I would list it somewhere in between. But with that, you also get those rewards that you don't get those little rewards. You can get some decent rewards. But yeah, so I think I got off on a tangent a little bit, and I just wanted to kind of maybe clear the air on that. So if you're thinking about getting into mining, just do it. Don't put yourself in like financial hardship to do it. Don't go and rack up a credit card or anything like that. Hold on. Sorry. But maybe buy a card once in a blue moon if you can afford one, or start using your desktop computer. And that's another thing I see all the time. I know people personally that have a decent gaming computer with a good graphics card that can make multiple dollars a day, but they're not excited about multiple dollars a day. They're not excited about $2 a day or $3 a day. They're like, man, I want to make $100 a day. I want to make $200 a day. Well, that all starts with making $2, $4, $6, $8, $10 a day. It all starts at some point. So the sooner you start, the sooner you can be built up. And when there are hard times, when the market does go down and you're not making as much dollars per day, you're making the coin. That's where you can decide, maybe I'm going to sell off half, sell off 3/4, sell off 1/4, or sell off nothing and just hold my coins. And then when the market recovers, I'm going to reap the benefits of those coins being worth significantly more. So there's a lot of ways to skin a chicken or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. That's not how the saying goes. But there's a lot of ways to do it, and there's a lot of ways to be successful at it. Obviously, what I talk about on my channel and what I do and what I show you guys, I try to keep it very transparent, no smoke and mirrors. I literally show you guys what I have. I show you guys what I mine. I show you guys any new stuff that I use. And I, like, over this last year, me personally, I haven't reinvested, I'd say maybe $5,000, and I went from about 800 mega hash to almost 3 gigahash. I was literally just using the money that my farm is making, and then going back out, buying more hardware, and then adding it to my farm, and it snowballs. So the sooner you start, the sooner you can get that snowball rolling down the hill, and the faster that thing can get, you know, turn into a daggone landslide. And then before you know it, you can make, you can pay off graphics cards in days, not months. So a lot of people get hung up on that. They're like, oh my God, it's going to take me 8 months to pay back this graphics card. What else is going to pay itself off in 8 months by just letting it burn a little bit of electricity? I'll wait. Oh, that's nothing. Nothing is. So, yeah. Anyway, before this video gets too long, I see we're coming up on the 15-minute mark. I want to thank you guys. If you are watching this video and you are from the current community and you're not just a new guy, you guys are awesome. You really do rock. I see all you guys always helping other people in the comments section and steering people in the right direction. It is very much appreciated. It's crazy to think 4 years ago I just started mining because I watched a couple videos and started plugging some stuff in, and then I made some videos documenting what I was doing, and next thing you know, there's like this big huge group of friends, and it's like we can all help each other solve our problems. And yeah, I don't want to get all sappy and stuff, but it's been an awesome wild ride, and it's not too late. It's never too late to start. So just remember that. Anyway, guys, this is not financial advice. I just got to say that because people are going to be like, oh my God, I bet, I took out a mortgage or a home equity line of credit against the house and invested $100,000 into mining stuff, and now the market's down and I can't afford to keep my house. So, yeah. Stay safe. Happy hashing. I'll see you on the next one. Get ready for Christmas. It's coming here soon. And yeah, with that being said, it's time to go. So, later, guys. Adios.